you join us here today in the wilds of East Yorkshire, walking along a disused railway line that heads towards the village of Hornsea, which is a coastal village that had a railway, but back in 1964 the railway was abolished. Yes, one of Dr. Beeching's mistakes was to shut down the railways to the benefit of us cyclists and dog walkers. We had our wedding photos taken along here between the platforms just over there. Now, the whole reason that we came out today was that I could put this camera on a gimbal on a stabilizing so you wouldn't get the bouncing, but I left it at home. So don't laugh, it's not funny. But anyway, that muddy track is from the rain at the weekend. Otherwise it would be bone dry here. But yeah, that's where we got married. That's where we had our photographs taken. And there's the old hound in the distance. See if I can zoom in a bit. Yay, instant zoom.
Bye. See ya. See ya. See ya. Bye.
See if you come running towards us.
Bye. Come on then.
Come on then.
Good boy. He's a good boy. Go.
Go on, go. Well, so this is part one of today's video. There we are, ears of wheat, or whatever you call it, corn, I don't know. I'm not a farmer. I wish I knew more. But lovely golden colour. This is what goes into making your lager. So one thing about East Yorkshire, where we are, is the fields are absolutely massive. They go on for miles. Horse chestnut, the conker tree, and we're into August and we're getting brown on the leaves already. Whether this is from disease or not, I don't know. It seems like it's the only tree here that's starting to change colour. I think it's probably
Heart rate 101.
Probably a disease. Yes, it looks like it's a disease. The thing with railway tracks is that they're dead straight and level. Ideal for the cyclist like me. I'll have to go investigate what's in this field. Not quite sure what's in there. This is a field of oats. This is where you get your porridge from. I don't know whether you get your porridge from just this field, but it goes on for miles up there, right up into the distance. Yeah, and the dog's playing up. Let's have a good close look at your porridge oats. I can get into focus. I'm not trampling down the plants because I'm in the middle of a thing. So, being an eco-tourist. Here is a dog. Hello, dog. What do you want? The walkies? Got it.
Literally, you're right up there in that next
Is
light
he?
patch. Yeah.
All right.
10
Yes, the
hours and
dog disappeared. If only he would. No, I don't mean it. He is a bit of a pain sometimes, but mostly he's a good dog. All right. Yes, as I was saying, these new cycle tracks are absolutely wonderful for the cyclist. I can do, from my house to the seafront, it's 12 miles exactly. And most of it is done down this track. I think I do 8 miles down this track and 4 miles on the road, which isn't too bad. You get to see all these trees. And give it a couple more days, I'll go out on my road bike, and then I'll come down here on the mountain bike, come down this trail, see what it's like. Right, so let's turn it off again, and we'll carry on in a minute. This is a field of broad beans, not very big. It's sectioned off from that great big field of oats next door. But these are broad beans. Let's go in for a close-up look. No, I'm not a fan of broad beans personally, but other people do. I tend to like them. So I wonder when this lot's going to be harvested. There's quite a big patch here which hasn't taken to the seeds. So I guess it's because it was too wet. We do suffer from that in Hull. It's the wet season that kills us, and it stays wet and boggy for ages. On the edge of this field with broad beans is this purple flower, and it's called a hairy willow herb. What a funny name. There you go. Put my hand out for scale, so it's not very big. But yes, isn't that lovely? We've just seen up back to where we were, back on the road, or I say back on the road, back on the path. We've seen some Rosebay willow herb, which we saw on holiday. I'll try and find a picture of that. And there was another flower called the sailor's tobacco. I'll try and get that in as well. Yes, here we go. Over this little rickety bridge is where the water drains off the field. As you can see, it's very, very boggy. There's Mrs. Old Man patiently waiting for her rather weird husband. But while she's waiting, she'll have to pull up with me. Here we are. This, if I can get a close-up, although it's in silhouette, I might be better off zooming in and coming out a bit more. There we go. That's in silhouette. That's the Rosebay willow herb. It's also known as a fire herb or something. It's used externally for treating burns. And we've just seen another plant called a stinking willie. I'll have to go back and show you. I'm going to run back. I'm going to run back. Sarah says we can do it on the way back. But, all right, let's cut that bit out. How's that for a tortured tree? Looks like it's an oak tree. I don't think Robin Hood was in this one. There's another field of broad beans on the other side of the track. We've been looking on the south side of the track. Now this is the north side of the track. Now would it be illegal to take 1 or 2 pods of broad beans to take them home to try them? I don't think so. There's a couple of broken plants here right on the edge that won't get eaten by man nor beast, so we might as well take home a couple of pods. If the farmer catches us, I'll give him a penny or two. This little plant here, with all the flies on it, is stinking willie. Yes, you got it. The common name is stinking willie. I'll have to look it up to find out what it's really called, the proper scientific name. But we carry on. There's a load more of it here. Stinking willie. How strange. Why would you call a plant stinking willie? Right. That
Heart rate 92.
That bee is sat on a lesser knapweed. How strange. Lovely though, isn't it? To zoom right in, look, we have a snail having a sleep on a branch, on one having a sleep on a leaf.
It's a tiny one on this side.
And yeah, Sarah's just pointed out a tiny one further up. If I can focus, there we go. Well, it's getting rather boggy, so we're going to turn around. We've walked a mile anyway, so that's not too bad. So we're going to turn around and head back the way we came. As you can see, it is getting boggy. But a few days of sunshine, that'll sort that out. But being overcast with the shadow from the trees, it might take a while to dry out properly. Anyway, so let's head back. We've seen some other flowers here. We've seen purple campion in the bushes, and we've seen another one called Robert's.
Robert.
Pardon?
Herb Robert.
Herb Robert, which is a type of geranium. Geranium, if I can get it right. I think, where did we see it? It was here somewhere. Right, probably in amongst that. Little tiny purple flowers that look very similar. Sarah's the expert on flowers. Oh, here comes a cyclist. Let's make way. There we go. That's the red campion in there, those little flowers. And we come down here, not too far away, are these Herb Robert, which are kind of stripy. Can't see, if we zoom in, oh, come back out again. Right, yeah, zoom in and pull back. Here it comes into focus, there we go. Herb Robert. Wow. You wonder how some of these plants get named. I know Robert's herb is Roberterium geranium or something. Is a funny name, but we know it's named after a bloke called Robert. As for stinking willie, oh, I can't possibly imagine how that got named. And well, some of this willow herb up here, the Rosebay willow herb. I wonder how popular that was a few decades ago, whether they really used it. Well, there was a rose bush there. I wonder where that came from. No flowers on it. Yes, I mean this disused railway has not been railway track. Has not really been looked after. I mean, they might cut the hedges back, but yeah, it's very old. And dog. I won't focus on the dog having a poo in the grass. Again.
No, not down there. Not again.
As per the country ways, the code with animal poo. You just flick it into the undergrowth. Now you don't have to carry a plastic bag, because nobody, apart from us, I've not hardly seen anybody ever take their dog poo to a bin. So having changed that law, where you just flick it into the undergrowth.
We still bring poo bags.
But yeah, we still bring poo bags. Yeah, so having changed the law, so you just flick it into the undergrowth, has made a huge great difference. There's no longer soggy poo-filled bags in the middle of the path.
What's this? Come here. Come here.
Yes, that was one of my biggest...
Current pace 25:13. Heart rate 79.
Oh, fucking do something. Yeah, that was one of my biggest bugbears of coming down here, was cycling, having to navigate through all the poo bags. The people have started to get so lazy that they wouldn't even go to the trees and flick a poo bag into the bushes anymore. They'd just leave it in the middle of the path, you know, for your kids to trip over and fall in, and cyclists to cycle through. But yeah, so that's I can't say we've seen any poo bags along here today. So which is rather good, I think, rather good. That people's habits are changing. Ah, can you hear that? There's a hawk. I don't know what type of hawk it was. Yeah, it's a kestrel calling over to our right hand side. Oh, we can't see what's in that field just yet because of all the trees. Well, yep, here we are. We're back to the fields of oats. Can we see? Oh, I can't make it out, can you?
Yeah. I think it's oats the same as that.
Yeah, it's
Looks like oats.
it's the same colour, isn't it? It's the same that same slightly
Golden.
grey green colour, and the golden tops as it's maturing nicely. I really can't see anything through there.
I can see just through that. The camera a bit.
No, the kestrel's up there. Well, no, it does. The field opens up further up there when we get back nearer to the car.
This way.
Come on, dog. There's a good boy. There you go. In and out the bushes. There he goes.
No.
That's it. Good boy. This way. Come on.
Oh.
This is the first time he's been off lead since we were on holiday. We couldn't let him off the lead. What with it? Hey?
Too many sheep.
There's too many sheep about, and where the walks, it said not to let the log off the lead, so we abide by their wishes. And of course, no one ever bothered us. Oh, there's a poo bag. I spoke too soon. Here we are. Yes, it looks like wheat in that field. And can you hear that blackbird? Can you hear the traffic? No, neither can I. It's very quiet. Running alongside this railway track is a drain. It's not really a stream, it's just a trickle of water that comes off the land, and it will join up with other drains in this area. In Hull, we have all these drains that take the water from the land, to stop the being a floodplain as we are. And of course, just here is a little bridge. I wouldn't want to risk walking over that, but yeah, over access to the other field over there. And Mrs. Old Man, who's the expert on wildlife, told me that was a blue tit making a bit of a racket. Here we go, back along the path again. And there's Mrs. Old Man. There's the dog.
Got his lead a minute.
I don't know if you'll be able to make it out, but up there are two kites. That was making the noise. It wasn't a kestrel after all, it was a kite. Quite prevalent here, the kites. But yep, so I'm going to do my little outro now as we're getting closer to the car again. I'll zoom out. There, I've zoomed out and going to do my outro. So this was a little tiny mile walk down the Hornsea Trail from near there's a pub called the Gardeners, and then there's a gardening centre which is a bit poor, a bit lacking, but yeah, nevertheless there's a gardening centre just across the road from us. Yes, what else can I say? Yeah, it's a nice little walk, this, and it's not too far from home. Of course, cycling here doesn't take long because it's all as a crow flies. Whereas if I drive, it's I have to go further around in a circle to get here. But there's more. Now I don't know what they are. I didn't see those on the way here.
Barley.
Current
That's
pace
barley.
22:38.
There's a
Heart rate
strip.
84.
I don't know if you can make it out, but there's a strip of barley there. Behind it is wheat, but here it's just barley. Maybe they put the barley there to attract the pollinating insects. Yeah. Oh, well, pointed upwards. Sorry. Yeah. So there we go. Dog's going to investigate. Yep. So this draws this little video to a close on the Hornsea Trail in the beginning of August 2021.